Yes, folks, Billy Tika Hika's new name is 1% Billy because that name suits him well. Anyway, today's video is about 1% Billy and the Jami-Lee Ross saga. But first I want to discuss the United Tribes flag a bit more. Now that flag was New Zealand's first flag, which was replaced with our present flag with the Treaty of Waitangi. So in essence, the people who fly that flag reject the Treaty of Waitangi and have separatist intentions. Anyway, I'll start this off today with 1% Billy in Te Tai Tokerau.
Okay, kia ora everyone. I just did one on my other Facebook page. I'm here today. It's in Waitangi. I've just had the privilege and honour of doing a presentation at Waitangi, defending our rights, our freedoms, and issuing a challenge to the government that we are not going to go down lightly, that we will go into Parliament, we will defend our sovereignty, we will defend our individual sovereignty, we will defend our national sovereignty, our regional sovereignty.
Yeah, did you hear that, folks? We will defend our regional sovereignty. That is the very definition of separatism. And he is saying that to his people in Te Tai Tokerau.
And it was a real privilege today to be acknowledged as the only politician invited to speak at it in Te Tai Tokerau, as a candidate, as a co-leader, as a being here today. And it's amazing, it's beautiful, just absolutely incredible, and it's an honour to be a part of it, to share in this message to the government, this message to everybody in New Zealand, that sovereignty is available to all of us. Such an important thing. We can repair our economy. We can look after our mentally ill people. We can house people in the way that they can own their houses. We can look after our special needs whānau and children. We can fund wheelchairs and wheelchair ramps instead of giving our money to the Clinton Foundation. We can protect our sovereignty.
Yeah, once again, he's speaking about our sovereignty to his people in Te Tai Tokerau.
We can. One of the leaders that of Ngāpuhi that I had great respect for and knew as I was growing up was a man called Kingi Taurua. This is his beautiful daughter here.
Okay. Kia ora koutou whānau mā. Ngā mihi kia koutou. Yes, we're here to stand on our rights of who we belong to, where we come from. And I wanted to talk about... We know that the government policies have done a lot of damage to us. We know through the taking of our Tohunga Act, taking our reo, taking our whenua. That's why we have issues around mental health. Mental health is a colonisation, is why we have such issues with mental health. It's actually because of the things that were taken away legally, their legal way.
Their legal way.
And we're standing for rights and freedoms today, aren't we?
Right. Kia ora.
That's right.
Kia ora.
Kia ora whaia. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
Demand our freedom.
We demand our freedom, she says. And she's not talking about from the United Nations. Anyway, now to some more of 1% Billy.
In that stance, I was quite happy doing it from the safety of my little farmhouse. My wife certainly didn't think it was a great idea to get into it, so we kind of rejected the idea about going into politics. But now, once again, through your influence as well and seeing your work, I did end up deciding that I would stand. Our party was created as the New Zealand Public Party, and then we merged into a voting umbrella, which, as I've just said, it's called Advanced New Zealand. And in that short time, we've pretty much become the third largest political party in New Zealand.
Yes, 1% Billy is going around the world spreading his lies. So let's see the truth.
This is the first poll of the 2020 election campaign. Let's look at how it compares to our last one 7 weeks ago. Labour is on 48, dropping 5. Nationals on 31, down 1. ACT is sitting on 7. That's up to its...
Yeah, so 1% Billy is not in the top 3.
best result in 17 years. The Greens are up 1, sitting on...
Not in the top 4.
On 6, New Zealand First is steady on 2.
Not in the top 5.
It would not be in Parliament with these numbers. Other parties are picking up support too. The New
Not in the top 6.
Conservatives are on 2 and top the Māori Party and Advance New Zealand all on 1.
Ah, yes. 1% Billy is in the bottom 3. Anyway, now to Jamie.
Hi everyone, it's Jami-Lee Ross here. Hey look, I just wanted to do a very quick video update. There is a very strange video which has just been posted on YouTube by someone who I call walk around talk to himself guy. I just want to get on here really quickly and just address it because I've just been bathing my children, Henry and Charlotte, they're 5 and 8. Just been bathing my children at the end of the day. And I get all these messages on my phone saying, have you resigned? Have you resigned? Something.
Yeah, now seriously, folks, does anyone actually believe that Jamie didn't know about Cross the Rubicon's first video, the one about the 13 candidates resigning, etc.? Of course he knew. And so far, I haven't heard a word from Billy or Jamie about that video because it's true.
Thing like that. Apparently, there's some guy based in Christchurch that if I read him up on the media, they call him a white supremacist. I mean, I'd give him more credit than that. I'm sure he's just a guy who expresses himself.
So why did you call him a white supremacist then?
But apparently he said on YouTube that I've resigned from Advance New Zealand. That's not the case. I'm here. I'm the co-leader of Advance New Zealand with Billy Hika, and things are going really well. That guy, I'm told, works for the New Conservative Party.
Not true. That's a blatant lie. So this is what he is trying to do, folks. He is trying to link a so-called white supremacist to the New Conservative Party.
Here's a bit of background for you all. Last week, before the nominations went in to the Electoral Commission, you probably know that we've been talking to different political parties along the way. Last week, before nominations went in, we actually reached out to the New Conservatives one last time and said to them, hey, Leighton Baker, Ali Dekele, look, there's a lot of common ground here. Why don't we consider merging our lists together? Don't split the party vote. All the New Conservative candidates can still stand as New Conservatives candidates, but come on the Advance New Zealand list because we've got momentum, we've got traction, we're getting thousands of people coming out in support of us at marches and rallies, and we're also getting into the TV debates, we're getting a lot of people donating money. Why don't we just combine our lists? New Conservatives candidates can still do that. And I know so many people have said to us, you guys should work together. You guys should be on board the same party, ensure that people's votes aren't split. New Conservatives said, no, we don't want to do that because we've already told our people what their list positions are.
Yeah, so you can see what's going on here, folks. This guy set up Cross the Rubicon so he could have a go at the New Conservative Party. Anyway, back to 1% Billy.
Absolutely. And that's what I've been saying to people lately. You know, people, really silly people that just have a go at us. And yet the funniest thing is these same people were at the rally last week saying the same things that we're saying. You know, let's protect our country. Let's defend our country. Let's protect our rights and freedoms. Let's repair the economy. Let's be honest with the medical science around COVID-19. and yet they'll turn around and they are just, unbelievable. In fact, there's no other word for it, disgusting towards us, as if we've had some big agenda for the last few years to get into politics. I've never had that. I keep saying that. I was quite happy in my life before COVID-19 and before this whole episode in my life. I was quite happy where I was with my beautiful whānau. But, I was brought into this for, I think, a very special purpose, and that is to be a focal point of what the people need. And that's as simple as that. And I tell you what, I absolutely had the laugh of my life last night at the expense of Lee from Rubicon Crossing. Someone had fooled him into thinking that Jami-Lee Ross had left the movement. And, if I was Jami-Lee Ross, I would want to retire right now. If he wanted to retire and said to me, Billy, I want to focus on my life. I've done 16 years of politics. Can you take the reins from here? I'll help you. I would be disappointed, but I'd absolutely understand that.
Now, I find that statement very strange, given that this whole saga was about Jamie resigning. So I wonder if there's a rumour going around the party about that. Maybe there's some truth in that.
But that wasn't the case. Somebody who said they were connected to us sent Lee some information saying that Jami-Lee had resigned. Jami-Lee was bathing his two beautiful children and getting messages from people asking him if he had resigned, and if it was true. He gets on and sends a missile down into Lee from Rubicon Crossings, into Lee's life, and blew him apart, and just showed how stupid his platform is, and how uninformed, and how
much research he does. Like, I love there was one just the other day where he said, I think that the Labour Party created it. And I was like, hold on. I laughed so hard that I was extremely grateful that my wife and my child were out at the time, because it would have scared them. I hadn't laughed. I don't even know I could laugh that hard, because it was just utterly ridiculous. And the whole, I'm just asking questions. They've got the financial transparency thing on the website, bro.
Yeah, but there's nothing in there about who gave the large donations to Rubicon Crossing 2020 Limited.
You can read, can't you? You just, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit upset about it, because it's a frustrating thing, because for nearly 13 years now, I have basically, for all intents and purposes, been the only New Zealand YouTuber, really, talking about issues and getting on interviews and things of that nature. And these guys start up just after Christchurch. Like, only then they figured out that there's something wrong with this country, and now they're coming out and trying to act like political commentators and saying the most ridiculous, unfounded accusations I have ever seen in my life. And I've seen quite a bit. So this is just, we have crossed the Rubicon here.
Oh, exactly. And, it was really funny, because when I first met Lee, he came to our event in Christchurch, and I heard he was a bit radical and a bit out there. And but nevertheless, I thought, hey, he's another soul wanting the same things that we do. So what happened was, he came in, and it was when we had my Tier 1 security team, and these are all professional, special high-level security teams, say that there was a really serious potential threat aimed at us, and that we needed to take stock. He was there all the way through it and saw it,
Yeah, he saw good acting.
The anxiety that we felt and the concern that we felt was as real as I'm sitting here talking to you. And he was there all the way through it. He saw our presentation 2 days, and 2 days later he said he wanted to be considered to be a candidate. And I think I might have frozen. Am I still there,
you're
mate?
right. You're right.
Okay, sorry. A couple of days later, he said he wanted to be a candidate, and that was all good. We're working through a process with him. And then a couple of days after that, he was online again, slamming us, And I just, they just seem unstable. They really, really do. And I was, just like, you just can't explain that behaviour. And then we had, of course, Mr. Desperate for Attention. In fact, there's two Mr. Desperate for Attentions. In fact, there's three if you include Lee. And that is, Terry Opines saying that he was at the rally last week and he saw the cracks in the Advance New Zealand.
Yeah, now I can't recall myself ever talking about cracks.
I don't know what cracks he was seeing, because the cracks were full of people supporting the Advance New Zealand. 4,000 odd people that were there at that rally. With all due respect to our Liberty March whānau, who are great people, we marketed that event in 1 week to the massive people movement that support us, and it was the people that got themselves there and in support of Advance New Zealand. And there were, what cracks is he talking about? Referring to who's paying for my hotel rooms. Well,
Now, I never mentioned anything about hotel rooms, but Cross the Rubicon did. So our 1% Billy has got his wires crossed there.
Sorry, I don't draw a wage from this. I don't draw a salary. My daily costs get paid for, but I don't get paid anything. I work the longest hours I've ever done in anything. My day started early yesterday morning and finished at 1:45 this morning, and I was up again at 6:30, getting ready to go to do media interviews this morning here in Whangarei. And, I've never worked so hard in my life. I'm not afraid of hard work, never have been, love it, been working since I was a 10-year-old boy. So I don't have any problems with that idea. But it just shows you how desperate that guys like Terry Opines and the other guy, Mark Thompson, they're just so desperate for attention.
Oh, that's wonderful coming from Billy. Yes, Billy, you're projecting there a bit. Yes. Now, folks, I think Cross Rubicon will eventually be vindicated about most, if not all, the things he says about Billy and his party. And when the dust settles and all is revealed, I am confident corruption will be found in Rubicon Crossing 2020 Limited.